Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the topic malaria. Myself, Dr. Anandas, Assistant Professor, Department of Roganidhan, Evam Vigruthi Vigyan, Global Institute of Ayurveda, Rajkot. So in this first part, mainly we will discuss about introduction to malaria, history of malaria, incidence and prevalence of malaria, and epidemiology of malaria, and different structure and species of malaria. So we will continue with the topic. We will start the topic with a general introduction. Malaria is a mosquito-borne infectious disease affecting humans and other animals caused by parasitic single-celled microorganisms belonging to the Plasmodium group. So the transmission or spreading of the disease called malaria is mainly happened by an infected mosquito. Different species of the Plasmodium group, especially malaria, is a protozoan disease. So different species of the Plasmodium group will be responsible for the manifestation of the disease called malaria. Malaria causes symptoms that typically include fever, tiredness, vomiting, and headache. These are all the primary symptoms which will be affecting over the patient. But in some severe cases, it can cause presence of yellowish color over the body, presence of seizures, and in some cases, the patient will be going to the state of coma, or in at most severe cases, death also can happen. Symptoms usually begin 10 to 15 days after being bitten by an infected mosquito. So, if a person is infected with a parasite or is bitten by an infected mosquito, soon after completion of 10 to 15 days, the symptoms will be presenting over the patient. The disease is most commonly transmitted by an infected female Anopheles mosquito. So the transmission or spreading of the malaria is mainly carried out by female Anopheles mosquito. The mosquito bite introduces the parasites from mosquitoes' saliva into a person's blood. Especially parasites already will be present in mosquito saliva. So when it bites over the human being, the parasites which is already present in the mosquito saliva will be transferred into the blood of the persons. The parasites travel to the liver where they mature and reproduces. So the further maturation and reproduction of these parasites will be happening in the liver. If not properly treated, people may have recurrences of the disease months later. If it is not treated properly and because of lack of proper treatment, recurrences of the disease, especially after several months, this can be reoccurred. In those who have recently survived an infection, reinfection usually causes mild symptoms. In certain cases, if a person is again infected with this particular malarial infection, in those conditions, the symptoms will be very mild in nature. 5 species of Plasmodium can infect and be spread by mosquitoes. Most deaths are caused by Plasmodium falciparum because Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, and Plasmodium malariae generally cause a milder form of malaria. So the foremost causative microorganism of malaria is Plasmodium falciparum. The species Plasmodium novelacea rarely causes disease in humans, so it's an exceptional species. When we talk about history of malaria, the parasite responsible for Plasmodium falciparum malaria has been in existence for 50,000 to 1 lakh years. References to the unique periodic fevers of malaria are found throughout recorded history. So, decades or years before itself, the presence or attack of malarial fever has been found out. The term malaria originates from medieval Italian word "mala area". Mala means bad and area means air. The disease was formerly called ague or marsh fever due to its association with swamps and marshland. That time one faith was exist. Likewise, the disease malaria is raised because of foul smell from marshy land. So they thought that it is somewhat related with swamps and marshlands. That's why it is associated with the ague or marsh fever. Charles Louis Alphonse Laverel, a French army doctor working in the military hospital of Constantine in Algeria, observed parasites inside the red blood cells of infected people for the first time. So he was the first identifier, he was the first scientist who found out presence of these parasites from red blood cells of infected people while he were working in his hospital. He therefore proposed that malaria is caused by this organism, the first time a protist was identified as causing the disease. From there it was known like the disease malaria is a protozoan disease. These are the two scientists. The first one, Charles Darwin Alphonse Laveran, who found out or who observed firstly the presence of parasites from the blood samples of the patients. And the second one, Ronald Ross, who found out mosquitoes are spreading the disease called malaria. So these are all the two contributors to the history of malaria. Incidence and prevalence of malaria. According to the World Malaria Report 2016, there were 212 million cases of malaria globally in 2015 and 4,29,000 malaria deaths ranging to 2,35,000 to 6,39,000, representing a decrease in malaria cases and deaths of 22% and 50% since 2000 respectively. The disease is widespread in the tropical and subtropical regions that exist in a broad band around the equator. In 2016, there were 216 million cases of malaria worldwide, resulting in an estimated 4,45,000 to 7,31,000 deaths. Rates of disease have decreased from 2000 to 2015 by 37%, but increased from 2014, during which there were 198 million cases. Malaria is prevalent in tropical and subtropical regions especially. And what are the supporting factors for this prevalence of malaria over that sites? Especially presence of high rainfall or heavy rainfall, along with consistent high temperatures and high humidity. Along with these factors, stagnant waters in which mosquito larvae readily mature. The peculiar reason for maturation of the larvae, stagnation of water in those places. So that also a supportive factor, providing them with the environment they need for continuous breeding. So because of this much factors, continuous breeding of the malaria larvae will be happening at that regions, especially tropical and subtropical regions. Here we will see epidemiology of malaria. Several studies and surveys have been conducted about epidemiology of malaria, and depends upon those reports and statistical analysis, these points were evaluated. The number of cases reported between 350 and 550 million for falciparum malaria. When the studies have been conducted about malarial attack throughout the world, at that time the reported cases were in between 350 and 550 million. And within that also, the majority of cases occurred in children under 15 years old. So at that time, it mostly affected the children who is under 15 years old. And with respect to the pregnant woman, about 125 million pregnant women were at risk of infection each year at that time. And across the world, if it considers, maternal malaria was associated with up to 2 lakh estimated infant deaths yearly. Next, we will see structure and stages of Plasmodium larva. What are the different structures of Plasmodium larva and different stages of Plasmodium larva? This is the general structure of a Plasmodium larvae. Different types of structures are there within Plasmodium larvae. First of all, a big size nucleus will be present within the larvae, along with rough endoplasmic reticulum and hollow tube-like structure will be present either one side of the larval wall, that is epicoplast, we will call as epicoplast, and at the tail end ring-like structures will be present, that will be named as polar rings, and beneath or under the polar rings you can see two structures, presence of micronyms and presence of rostri. Both are looking like similar in nature, but with respect to the rostri it will be little bit enlarged in size. And presence of microtubule with respect to the epicoplast, beneath the epicoplast you can see both sides presence of microtubule. Along with microtubule, nuclear coated vesicles also in minimum number. Nuclear coated vesicles also will be present within the rough endoplasmic reticulum of malarial larvae or plasmodium larvae, and n number of dense granules, minute granules also which will be present within rough endoplasmic reticulum. So this much regarding a common or general information of a plasmodium larvae or malarial parasite. Here we will discuss different stages of malarial larvae. If at all a malarial larvae has to complete its full life cycle, that particular larvae should complete or should be gone through this much stages of larva or stages of larva. It will start from sporozoids, a starting state. From sporozoids it will go to schizone state, and from schizone state it will go to merozoid, and from the state of merozoid it will be further transferred to trophozoid, and from trophozoid it will finally end up in a state called gametocyte. So these states are not independent states, these all are dependent states only from one to another, and that particular state to another particular state. It will be fully connected. So these stages of larva will be different for different species of the malarial parasite. So we will see in detail what are the peculiar difference between these larval stage with respect to the different species. First of all, Plasmodium vivax species, the ring form will be single in nature, only one ring form will be there. With respect to trophozoid, it will be irregular in manner. With respect to the schizone, it will be larger than RBC. The size will be larger than RBC. And in gametocyte, it will be round in shape. And what we can see the changes of RBCs, it will be more enlarged in nature and the color will be pale in nature. So these are all the peculiar features of larvals of Plasmodium vivax. With respect to Plasmodium malariae, ring form will be single in nature and trophozoite will be in band shape. The shape of the trophozoite will be in a band-like nature. Schizone will be smaller than RBC, and with respect to the gametocyte, it will be round in shape and it will be small also. And what changes we can see with respect to Plasmodium malariae species, it will not be much enlarged, but fine pink granules you can see with respect to the changes of RBCs. The next one, Plasmodium falciparum species, the ring form will be more than one, especially in Plasmodium falciparum species. And trophozoite stage it will not be seen there, like that in schizone also it will not be there, it will be absent. And gametocyte will be in crescent shaped, it will be in round shaped in nature, and changes in RBC it will be normal in size. And with respect to Plasmodium ovale species, the ring form will be single in nature, only one will be there. Trophozoite stage will not be there, and schizone it will be smaller than RBC. With respect to peculiar feature of gametocyte, it will be oval in nature and small also. And changes in RBC, what type of changes we can see in RBCs? It will be enlarged, but it will be in oval in shape. So this much are the different peculiar features of each species of Plasmodium larvae with respect to Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malariae, Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium ovale. So here we finish the first part of malariae. In upcoming next part, we will see in detail regarding causes of malariae, pathophysiology of malariae, and life cycle of malarial larvae. Thank you.